12, 11, 12, 12:30। अब मैसेज किसके आ रहे हैं? बेटा बस अभी मैं क्लास में हूँ, क्लास के बाद तो मैं समझाता हूँ, ठीक है?
आपके कहने का मतलब कि हमारा जो articles की preparation is directly proportional to the marks secured if with extent.
ऑलराइट, सो अयान, मैंने कुछ बच्चों का जो है ना मिड टर्म में अच्छा नहीं आया था, मैंने उनका रीटेस्ट रखा है। मैंने कहा तुम लोगों की मैं सीए की एंट्री नहीं भेजूंगा जब तक ये रीटेस्ट क्लियर नहीं करोगे। तो वो बेचारे इतने परेशान, इतने मैसेजेस, इतने पेपर्स कर रहे हैं, अब इतने लगे हुए हैं। मैंने कहा काश तुम लोग ये टाइम पे कर लेते। सो हाँ, मैंने रिकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट कर ली होगी। अब मैं बात कर रहा था आपसे, यस इट स्टार्टेड। मैं आपसे बात कर रहा था कि व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट स्पेस फिजिक्स, सो स्पेस फिजिक्स में वी हैव टू चैप्टर्स टू कवर। वन इज अर्थ एंड द सोलर सिस्टम एंड सेकंड इज स्टार्स एंड द यूनिवर्स। अर्थ एंड द सोलर सिस्टम, स्टार्स एंड द यूनिवर्स, ये आपके पास दो चैप्टर्स हैं जो हमने डिस्कस करने हैं। एंड व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट अर्थ एंड द सोलर सिस्टम, तो अर्थ एंड द सोलर सिस्टम में हमारे पास अर्थ को हम डिस्कस करेंगे सेपरेटली, सोलर सिस्टम को हम डिस्कस करेंगे सेपरेटली। सो जस्ट गिव मी वन लास्ट मिनट।
No problem.
मीनवाइल आई वुड वांट यू कि आप इसको लिख लो।
Okay.
इस्लाम आमिर भाई कैसे हैं? भाई कहाँ हैं? दुकान पे? प्रिंटिंग हो गई मैंने जो भेजी थी? यार ये लोग मैसेज ही नहीं देखते आमिर भाई, इन बंदों को जरा टाइट करो मैसेज। ये जो लाल वाला लगा हुआ है आपका, लाल निशान, इसको इनको जरा टाइट करो यार, ये देखती ही नहीं है मैसेज। लोगों ने मैसेज किए हुए होते हैं। जी नहीं, मैं तो नहीं आ रहा, किसी को भेज रहूंगा। आप इनको जरा बोल लो यार, तुम लोगों को मैसेज आए हुए होते हैं, देखते ही नहीं हो। ओके ओके। हाँ है इंशाल्लाह मैं करता हूँ। मुझे अकाउंट नंबर भेजना, मुझे अकाउंट नंबर। फिर मुझे दोबारा भेजो, ऐसा ना उल्टा सीधे कहीं और भेज दूँ, पहले नहीं भेजा था। तो भेज दो ना ही नंबर लिख के, मुझे बोलो ये जी पैसा है। अच्छा लेकिन इसमें लिमिट है ना, 25,000 से पहले ज्यादा नहीं भेज सकती कोई भी। चलो ओके ओके। ऑलराइट। सो मैं आपसे बात कर रहा था, um, Earth and the solar system, stars and the universe. So the day and night and the rising and setting of the sun, this can be explained by the rotation of Earth on its axis. And in this section, we are going to be learning more about these natural occurrences. What are the natural occurrences? The day and night, the rising and setting of the sun. If we talk about Earth, it's the third planet from the sun and it travels in a nearly circular orbit. That circular orbit is controlled by large gravitational attraction exerted by the sun. Now, the Earth will take 1 year to travel around the orbit. Uh, Earth को कितना time लगता है बेटे? It takes 1 year to
1 year.
travel around the orbit. The moon will orbit the Earth under the influence of what? The gravity of the Earth, the gravitational attraction of the Earth. And it will always have some area of its surface facing towards the Earth. तो हर वक्त मून के खास पोर्शंस अर्थ की तरफ होता है. Now we'll be learning how to calculate the average orbital speed of an object like moon or a planet. So अर्थ की जब मैं बात करता हूँ, what is earth, where we are living, जहाँ हम रह रहे हैं, earth is a planet. Earth is a planet.
Plan-
And this planet belongs to which star? This planet belongs
Sun.
to the star sun, right? It's traveling in a nearly circular orbit. It's not a perfect orbit. And the moon is a satellite. The moon is a satellite of our earth, a natural satellite. It's orbiting the earth. And the motion of the earth and the moon is the reason for the occurrence of different natural events. So first of all, we'll talk about the motion of earth. And when we talk about the motion of earth, we'll talk about day and night. So the day and night, it's caused by the spinning of earth on its axis, spinning of earth on its axis, that is about the line through its north and south poles. So the earth is spinning about this line, this black line, through its north pole and south pole. And the spin will take 24 hours. Spinning, the one complete revolution of the spin will take 24 hours. This revolution, जो है, this creates day for half of the Earth's surface that's facing the sun, and night for the other half that's facing away from the sun. Now, when talking about the rising and setting of the sun, Earth's rotation on its own axis, what does it do? It causes the sun to have an apparent daily journey. So that means actually the sun is not moving. It's the Earth that's rotating on its axis. And this rotation of Earth on its axis causes the sun to have an apparent daily journey from east to west. How does the sun goes? From east to west. It rises exactly in east and then it sets exactly in west. Exactly in west, right? It rises exactly in east and rises exactly in west,
Maybe.
sets exactly in west.
Yeah.
Is it or not?
Yes.
It rises exactly in east and sets exactly in
In the
west.
west.
But remember, only at equinox. Only at equinox, right? So that means when it's not at equinox, it will not be exactly rising It will not be exactly rising in the east and not exactly setting in the west. Now, sir, what is equinox? We'll talk about this. So, at equinoxes only, the sun rises exactly from east and sets exactly in west. And these equinoxes happen around 21 March and 23rd September. 21st March and 23rd September पे जो है ना ये इक्विनॉक्स होता है क्या होता है बेटे
Equinox.
right now what is equinox we'll talk about that in the northern hemisphere in the northern hemisphere if I talk about the earth's northern hemisphere in summer the sun rises north of east and sets north of west so this is not one right this is north of east it rises north of east and sets north of west. All right, north of east and it
Not.
sets north of west.
Yes.
In winters, this was happening in summers. ये कब हो रहा था बेटा? Summers में. ठीक है? Now in winters, what happened? In winters, it rises and sets south of these points. मतलब it rises from south of east and sets south of west. Right? So in winters, it rises south of east and sets in
Yes.
south of
West of
west. Right?
South of.
अब
Yes.
ऐसा क्यों होता है हम इसको आगे भी देखते हैं each day the sun is highest above the horizon at noon every day the sun is highest above horizon when at noon and directly due south in the northern hemisphere and directly due south in the northern hemisphere, right? This height itself is greatest, and the daylight hours are the longest about 21st June. 21st June को सबसे लंबा दिन होता है. After that, what happens? The sun's height slowly decreases, and near 21st of December, it is lowest and the number of daylight hours is then the smallest. सबसे छोटा दिन होता है 21 दिसंबर को. Hmm? Right? Yes or no? Are we together? And are you there?
Hello, Shukar. I was trying to unmute my mic. मैंने इतनी कोशिश कर ली. It was not working. Okay, I have one question.
Yeah.
क्या आप ऊपर करिएगा? वो जो ग्लो वाली आपने पिक्चर बनाई हुई है. Yes,
This
this one.
one?
Okay. Yes, I'm saying that मैंने सुना है. I'm not 100% sure. सॉरी पिक्चर पे दोबारा जाएगा. मैंने सुना है कि अर्थ में usually like right now जब the time that we're speaking yeah, there is winters on the northern hemisphere या फिर there's a winters on north side of earth और जो south side है वहाँ पे winters नहीं बल्कि summers वाला period है या फिर mostly वो period
Exactly.
जहाँ पे
सही ऐसे ही
बर्फ
होता है.
है. So why isn't this talked about too much क्योंकि मैंने ज्यादातर नहीं सुना है ये. मैं thank God मैंने I have read an article and due to that I've got to know this but generally why isn't this talked about and ऐसा होता क्यों है. I have these two questions.
अच्छा देखो generally we talk about stuff that's very important to us that are concerned to our daily lives that affects our daily lives right so कहाँ winter है कहाँ summer है that is not of actually directly affecting our lives इसलिए हम ज़्यादा बात नहीं करते या फिर मेनली इसके एक रीजन ये भी है कि वी डू नॉट हैव कॉन्टेक्ट्स ऑन सच फार डिस्टेंसेस यूजुअली ना, जिससे हमारा कोई दोस्त है, रिश्तेदार है, जिससे हमारा राब्ता हो रहा, हम और हम वैसे ही अवॉइड करते हैं लोगों से बात करना, लोगों से मिलना जुलना। ऐसा है हमारे इस
हाँ हाँ।
जनरेशन में कि
यस।
एक दूसरे से राब्ता नहीं रखते। ये तो आप कह रहे हो कि दुनिया के उस पार जो समर है उसका हमें नहीं पता चल रहा, हमें तो पड़ोस में कोई अगर खुदा ना खास्ता मर जाए उसका भी पता नहीं चलता।
अल्लाह।
So it's just like that, na? So, and by books you can travel the universe, not the world only.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So now we'll talk about the orbit of the Earth. And when we talk about the orbit of the Earth orbits the Sun once in approximately 365 days, that is 1 year. The path of the Earth around the Sun is not quite circular, but takes the form of an ellipse. It takes the form of an ellipse with the
Ellipse.
sun at one focus. With the sun at one focus.
On focus.
Now, here in this diagram, this shows the Earth in four different positions in its orbit. We'll have to note this fact that the Earth axis is tilted, and this tilt is about 23 degrees, 23.5 degrees to the plane of the path around the sun, to the plane of the path around the sun, or I can say to the vertical axis, to the vertical axis. Okay, so the angle it makes is 23.5 degrees. The day and night are of equal length only when the earth is at A and B. So when the earth is at point A and B, at A and B, so there are equal day and equal night. At A and B, the day and night are of equal length, right?
Yes.
And these are the equinoxes. These are the equinoxes. And these equinoxes often fall on 20th March and 23rd September. So, ये क्या है बेटे? Equinox है. अच्छा सर, equinox क्या है? थोड़ा सा डिटेल में बताएं. So, equinox basically it's a point in time when the sun exactly passes over the equator, right? So we have talked about motion of Earth. Now we'll talk about motion of the moon. When we talk about the moon, it is a satellite of Earth and travels around it in an approximately circular orbit, right? So I'm saying
Yes.
approximately circular orbit, not a circular orbit. It's approximately circular, not exactly circular. And an average distance of moon is 400,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
400,000 kilometers, right? And this 400,000 kilometers means that the orbit which the moon is following around the earth, basically this 400,000 kilometers is the radius of that orbit, is the radius of that orbit. It also revolves on its own axis in a month, right? So basically, it takes a month to orbit the Earth, right? And then it also takes a month to complete a revolution on its own axis. Hmm?
Yes. Say.
Getting my point?
Okay.
So it revolves, इसका मतलब इसका spinning time और इसका orbiting time दोनों same है. And this is the reason that moon has the same side facing the earth always. We never see the dark side of the moon. We never see the dark side of the moon. जो dark में है वो dark में ही रह जाता है. We see the moon by reflected sunlight. How do we see the moon? Since it does not produce its own light, it does not have an atmosphere. It does have gravitational field due to its mass, but the field strength is only 1/6 of its mass. But the field strength is only 1/6 of the mass of the Earth, on
Yeah.
1/6 of the field strength of the Earth. So this is why astronauts who walked on the moon moved in a springy-like fashion, but they did not fly off into space. Did not. Any problem? Any confusion?
आई हैव वन क्विक कंफ्यूजन. आप इस वाली बात को और एक्सप्लेन करिएगा. हाउ डू दे नॉट फ्लाई ऑन द स्पेस इनटू द स्पेस?
Say it again.
मैं कह रहा हूँ, कैन यू एक्सप्लेन दिस पॉइंट अगेन? आपने जो बताया कि दे डोंट फ्लाई ऑफ इन द स्पेस, हाउ इज पॉसिबल? आप मुझे थोड़ा सा इसको डीपली एक्सप्लेन करिएगा.
All right, all right, all right. So, moon does have gravitational field strength due to its mass, but ये जो field strength है, it's very weak. It's less than 1/6 of that on the Earth. So, all astronauts who have walked on the moon moved in a springy fashion. Do you know how does a spring behave?
यस सर.
When you pull it, it pulls back towards itself, right?
बेसिकली ये होता है कि व्हेन यू बाउंस इट ऑफ सो
इसका
इट कम्स.
मतलब ये है इसका मतलब ये है कि आपके पास मून पे ठीक है फील्ड स्ट्रेंथ तो बहुत वीक है, लेकिन इतनी भी वीक नहीं है कि आपके एस्ट्रोनॉट्स फ्लाई करके मून से गिर जाएं स्पेस में, राइट?
ओके, आई गेस आई गॉट द पॉइंट के आपने बेसिकली बॉल ऊपर फेंकी आसमान में, या फिर बेसिकली यू जंप अप ऑन द अर्थ आल्सो, बट एट सम पॉइंट यू आर गोइंग टू कम डाउन, क्योंकि उसके अंदर फिर भी मास इतना है,
यस,
इनफ ग्रेविटी फील्ड स्ट्रेंथ है दैट इट विल कम डाउन.
यस,
अगर आपने जंप भी करा टाइम लगेगा, मगर इट विल.
इट विल, राइट?
हम्म.
It takes time, but it happens, right? So that's the motion of the moon. Now we'll talk about orbital speed. We already know that speed is distance upon time. And when we know that something is orbiting, it means that it's following a circular path. When it's following a
Yes.
circular path, we know that it would be covering a distance that's equivalent to the circumference of that circle. And the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r.
Okay.
Now, the time that it takes to complete one orbit, that time is known to be orbital period. That time is known
Orbital
to be orbital
orbital
period,
period.
right? That's represented by capital T. So that means our speed, which we call the orbital speed, is given by 2 pi r upon t. 2 pi r upon t,
T.
right? Got it?
Yes.
अच्छा, अब ये बात अगर समझ आ गई, so we'll move on and we'll talk a little more about the phases of the moon. So, the moon's appearance from the earth changes during its monthly journey. इसका एक monthly journey होता है. So the moon's phases, and we know that पहले दिन चांद बहुत पतला दिखता है, 14th को बहुत bright दिखता है, full दिखता है, and then it descends back. So the moon's appearance from the earth changes during its monthly journey. It has different phases, and the outer cycle, ये इस वक्त आपको ये diagram नजर आ रही है. The outer circles show exactly half of it is always facing the earth. The outer cycle shows what? That exactly half of it is always facing the earth, and half is facing the sun. And जो part sun को face कर रहा है, बेसिकली वो इल्यूमिनेट हुआ हुआ है, क्या हुआ हुआ है, इल्यूमिनेट हुआ हुआ है, राइट। सो जो पार्ट सन को फेस कर रहा है, अर्थ को भी वही पार्ट नजर आ रहा है। हम्म, अर्थ को भी वही पार्ट नजर आ रहा है, एंड दैट्स गेटिंग अ रिफ्लेक्शन फ्रॉम द सन। हाउ it looks from the earth in its various positions is shown inside the circle. Hmm? Inside the circle, you will see that during the whole month, how does the moon looks towards the earth. मतलब earth से अगर आप देखोगे तो moon नजर कैसे आएगा. In the new moon phase, moon is between sun. Moon is between sun
हाँ.
and the earth, and the side facing the earth that is being unlit is not visible from earth, right? So where's the new moon phase?
Um,
इसको मैं यहाँ कर लेता हूँ. New moon, right at the bottom, right? So what's happening? In the new moon phase, the moon is between the sun and the earth, and the side facing the earth is being unlit, right? So here's the sun, right? Here's the moon, here's the
one
earth.
1 minute sir. uh, मैं ही कह रहा हूँ कि आपकी स्क्रीन इज स्टक. आप आई नो फॉर श्योर आप मुझे हाँ ये देखिए इमेज दिखा रहे हैं. नाउ इट लोडेड अप.
Right? In the new moon phase, what's happening? I'll just highlight it again. This is the sun, this is the new moon, and this is the earth, right? So in the
Yes.
new moon phase, what happens? In the new moon phase, the moon is between the sun and the earth, and the side facing the earth is being unlit. The wala side, there's no light over here, right?
because
It's being
because uh,
unlit. It's not visible from earth. You cannot see this from earth, right? Because light नहीं है तो दिखेगा क्या?
मगर मेरा एक सवाल है फिर इसका मतलब है हमने तो देख लिया ना डार्कर साइड ऑफ मून.
तो डार्कर साइड हमारी तरफ तो हुआ है, लेकिन हम उसको देख नहीं पा रहे ना.
एटलीस्ट हम ये तो क्लेम नहीं कर सकते ना कि हमने नहीं देखा. हमने देखा है मगर वो लाइक नहीं देखा हुआ एट द सेम टाइम. यू
हाँ,
गेट व्हाट.
तो देखा देखा, हाँ सही है, देखा नहीं देखा मतलब नहीं देखा. Alright, so the new moon, in the new moon phase होता क्या है, आपका exactly आधा मून सन की तरफ होता है और आधा अर्थ की तरफ, तो वो आपको नहीं दिखता, right?
हम्म.
A thin new crescent will appear along one edge as it travels in its orbit. So as it moves like this, what happens? A thin, हम कहते हैं पहली का चांद है ना, बहुत लड़ाई होती है इसमें तो पाकिस्तान पे,
यस.
राइट. कोई कितने का कर रहा होता है ईद, कोई कितने का कर रहा होता है, बेचारा चांद परेशान होता है, मैं किधर जाऊं, मैं किस किस को मुंह दिखाऊं. हम्म.
बट
A thin new
overview system
crescent.
is very good.
So a thin new crescent appears along one edge as it travels in its orbit. Gradually, this will increase in size until at the first quarter phase. So this is the first quarter phase, right?
हाँ.
What happens? The crescent increases, right? So,
हाँ. जा रहा है. ओके.
है ना?
यस.
And this is when half of the moon's surface can be seen. Half of the moon's surface can be
सीन.
seen, right? At full moon, what happens? The moon is on the opposite side of the earth. So this is the full moon, and this is the actual moon, and this is the sun, right? Hmm? So actually आपके पास सन की सारी लाइट इसको मिल रही है, सन की सारी लाइट इसको मिल रही है डायरेक्टली. So this is the full moon. It's exactly in the opposite end. It's exactly in the opposite side of the earth from the sun, and it will appear as complete circuit, complete circuit बोल रहा हूँ, complete circle, right? appear. Note the word appear. It will appear as complete circle. After that, it wanes through the last quarter, until only over here the old crescent can be seen. Yes or no?
Yes.
So this is how the phases of the moon work. Any problem, any confusion?
No.
So like the sun, the moon appears to have daily trip across the sky from east where it rises to the west where it sets again. This is due to the Earth's rotation on its axis. Earth's rotation on its axis, right? So ये हो गया orbital speed हमने कर ली. Now there are few questions जो अब आपने जिसके मुझे आपने answers देने हैं. And that is, Earth is a planet of sun. Which one of the following is not true? So I'm pausing here for you a question. All right. Can you see the question?
Not right now.
Must be there now.
Yes. So मैं इसको नोटबुक में लिख के और फिर आपको बता दूंगा.
पहले मुझे रफली बता दो फिर तुम उसके आंसर्स बाद में लिखना.
ओके चलिए अच्छा. मैं वही कह रहा था साइड में मैं वही कह रहा था एंड में बताऊं या फिर एक के बाद एक.
अभी एक के बाद एक बताओ मुझे फौरन, बल्कि आप
ओके.
ओरली बताओ मुझे फिर आप बाद में कर देना.
हाँ. Yes. Which of the following statements is not true? The Earth orbits the Sun once each year. So that's not true. Earth हमेशा कर रही होती है.
हम्म,
It's not like एक दफा ही करती है साल में.
हम्म.
नहीं अच्छा ओके या सही है हाँ. It's true. Spins once on its
Okay.
true. Day and night
Mm,
are due to the Earth spinning on its axis. No. Day and night हाँ वो एयर होता है. Yes, C is true. At places on the Earth's hemisphere tilted towards the sun, the days are shorter than the night. सन की तरफ है तो ऑब्वियसली डे लॉन्गर होंगे, तो दैट्स फॉल्स. A, B, C are true and D is false.
ऑलराइट, ठीक हो गया. सो प्रॉब्लम, any confusion so far?
None. No, sir.
All good so far?
Yes.
अच्छा जी, अब एक काम हम ये करते हैं. We'll talk a little more about बल्कि आप एक काम करो, बिफोर आई मूव ऑन, मैं चाह रहा हूँ कि आप पहले इसको नोट कर लो, क्योंकि आगे फिर मैं अगली चीज बताऊंगा. दैट वुड बी टॉकिंग अबाउट द सोलर सिस्टम ना. तो मैं पहले अर्थ के लिए चार सारी चीजें नोट कर लो, एंड देन आई विल कम टू द सोलर सिस्टम. ठीक है?
Okay.